So this speech or public speaking event was led by David P. Miranda, and what he like the main topic or like main point of his speech is about how intellectual property powers economic growth. So right away, he starts off the presentation with a joke, which, in my opinion, I think is a great way to get things started off, and to get the audience involved and like get them to listen to him. In one of my classes that I took last spring in the second semester last year, we learned about how to give a good presentation, and one of the main things is getting and keeping the audience's attention throughout your speech, at the beginning, through the middle, and throughout the end. Whether that's giving the audience something to relate to, or if it's a joke or something to make them like be more participate more, or just being able to like listen to the speaker. It's very important. In my opinion, he does stutter quite a bit, or mess up his words. I don't know if it's because maybe he is nervous, or he just hasn't really spoke in front of such a large crowd or audience, which would, in my opinion, be fair enough to be nervous in front of them, because that would be super hard to do. Or maybe he was just simply unprepared to speak in front of the audience, but I'm not too sure. He then talks about the cost of patent, and the time to get a patent, and time to get a patent being so expensive and so long to get. That product, the product needs to go into the market under other things such as copyright or trademarks. And he talks about how that is unfair because it makes it so hard for people that don't have a lot of money, or just are financially struggling to keep their business. The business world is set up so the rich get richer. So if someone who doesn't have a lot of money has a good idea or invention, someone rich can come in and take their idea or steal it and use it as their own. Or they can create a lot of jobs that will boost money in the economy from those people's ideas and inventions. Excuse me. In my opinion, it makes sense to me why he made the joke in the beginning of his presentation, and that was to try to grab the audience's attention, because besides from that, he had some visual aid to keep the audience's attention, but other than that, he didn't have too much, and he really only had one chart for his visual aid that he kept pulling up, which the chart wasn't very colorful, so it was hard to at least I assume it was hard for the audience to pay attention due to the lack of colors in the chart. But like I said, that's just my opinion. Another thing that I noticed in his presentation was his body language. It wasn't very good at all. He stands straight up the whole time and doesn't move much, And in my opinion, when I'm doing a speech, it's a lot easier for me if I'm like walking, like not all over the classroom or all over a stage, but like just moving a couple steps here, a couple steps there, moving my hands. I'm a big talker I like to use my hands when I talk. But he just really doesn't move, which to me is just really weird because I feel like I said, I feel like that makes it easier. He does move his hands a little bit, but I don't think from an audience standpoint, it's just hard to like stay involved when he's just standing there and not really having much tone in his voice and just not moving and just being stiff as a board the whole speech. And I also, and again, this goes along with his body language. I already said a little bit that he spoke in monotone. I just don't think he provided much energy during the speech. It was just very bland and monotone. And to me, if I'm in the audience listening to someone speak monotone, I just get super bored and zone out. I mean, in class, I had a teacher in high school who spoke in monotone, and it was just really hard for me to pay attention and learn anything in that class because I would get so bored and zone out when he was trying to talk to me. And during the speech, he doesn't really try to change the tone, and when he gets to like more important points or trying to prove something, his tone stays the same, so you really don't know if it's that important or not. And he just talked, and just throughout the whole entire speech, his voice was just the same tone the whole entire time, just super monotone. And if I was in that audience, I either would have probably left, fell asleep, or zoned out, because when I'm learning or like listen to someone talk to me, I need to like hear the energy in their voice, because if not, I just think it's very bland and boring. In the end, I still do think he was a better speaker than the video 3 we just watched last week. He went up there and said what he had to say with a lot of swiftness and to get his information out, and left it there. He did not add extra to keep it interesting, in my opinion. He just got up there, said what he could, didn't really explain much, which really meant that if someone didn't understand something in the audience, they weren't going to understand it because he wasn't explaining it very well. And but he did get straight to the point on some things. The last guy to sit up there and complained, in my opinion, about the lights and other things about like the stage and the audience not being involved. But this guy didn't really care. He just got up there, said what needed to be said. Sorry, my roommate hit my door. But yeah, overall, I think the speaker was okay. I definitely think he could work on his speaking tone and his body language. But overall, I learned a lot of good things, and I really enjoyed the video.